This is the NIL project, and my name is Madeline Trotter, and I will be the host for today. And I am with Emily and Julia. And Julia, what was your role in the project?
My role was the writer.
And Emily, what was your role in this project?
My role was the editor.
And my role as the host was I was the reporter. And Julia, the first question I'm going to ask you is, what was the most challenging part as being the writer for the NIL project?
Being the writer, I found that the most challenging part of this project was putting it into perspective as a news reporter. I felt that it was kind of tricky at times, but I feel that I was able to achieve my project.
Okay, great. And then Emily, what was your most challenging part?
My most challenging part was just trying to work the editing programs because they took me a while to get the hang of. But once I got it figured out, I feel like everything went smoothly.
And then my most challenging part for being the reporter and interviewing the guest for this project was coming up with the questions involving our topic and coming up with questions that had to do with our angle. And I would say at least coming up with our angle at the beginning, I think with us was a little bit tricky for us because figuring out how to be original from others was a lot trickier than that. So for the next question, what was something that you learned through the process of reporting on an NIL story? So Julia, what was something that you learned when you were writing the story?
I definitely learned many perspectives of students at Indiana University and what they think of name, image, and likeness is, and also teachers as well. I found that the NIL has many different sides of it. I learned that athletes should not be characterized as employees.
Emily, do you have any?
I was going to say how a majority of the people we interviewed said they wouldn't consider athletes as employees.
Yeah.
And they don't think it would be good. And then our expert source, she specifically said that it would actually have negative effects, which I thought was really interesting because I had never looked at it in that way.
That's from my perspective, what I learned from the interview process for NIL. I learned that most students, how they were affected by NIL. I know at IU, even from our expert source, I was told that IU doesn't talk about NIL as much compared to other schools, and as it should be, which is surprising to me because I know NIL is such a huge deal in our community today, and I think athletes should be getting the profit they should be getting with their name, image, and likeness. So I did find that very surprising, and from what I learned, and I did find it surprising how athletes aren't considered employees as well, because I would think that since they're doing their sport, I would think it would be considered a job kind of, because if they're being paid. But also I'm kind of comparing it to professional athletes as well, because they're being paid to do their sport. So but that's what I've gotten out of it.